Caribbean Newsline is brought to you by the Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc.
Trinidad and Tobago warned to brace for strike action at the state-owned oil company. Our top story in Caribbean Newsline for the first edition of Caribbean Newsline. That's Tuesday, January 3rd. From the CMC News Center in Bridgetown, I'm Nicole Best. Good evening. The Oilfield Workers Union, the OWTU, is putting state-owned Petrotrin as well as the public in Trinidad and Tobago on strike notice for Wednesday. This after 16 hours of meetings on salary talks last week resulted in deadlock. The OWTU's President General Ansel Roger has warned motorists that the strike action will affect the availability of fuel at the pumps.
Motoring public shall take precautionary measures and fill up as much as you can. Do as much motoring as you can between now and then, because when that time comes, we cannot guarantee you a reliable supply of fuel.
The union calls a meeting on the eve of the New Year's long weekend to put the nation in gear.
On Wednesday morning, bright and early, we are going to serve official strike notice on the Petroleum Company of Trinidad and Tobago.
Union boss Ansel Roger just exited a 16-hour-long meeting with Petrotrin's management to negotiate wage agreements. But there would be no middle ground as the parties decide on wage increases for two periods, 2011 to 2014 and 2014 to 2017.
What we are facing is 0, 0, 0 for one period and another 0, 0, 0 for another period.
Once the notice is served, strike action takes almost immediate effect and workers begin the 96-hour-long process of halting operations at the plants.
But Petrotrin is sticking to its guns. President Fitzroy Harewood maintains the company's position on no changes to wages and allowances. In a statement to employees, he said the strike action would be ill-advised and would only add to the burden on the country's economy and exacerbate Petrotrin's economic conditions. Petrotrin says in light of the planned strike action, contingency measures are being put in place to ensure supply to the local market is met. Meantime, the employers' body in the Twin Island Republic says the potential strike could be interpreted as a declaration of war against the public. In a release, the employers' consultative association said the taxpayers would have to bear a $444 million burden to increase wages for Petrotrin workers at a time when the company is unprofitable and the refinery is unproductive. It contends that during an economic crunch, strike action by such a prominent labor union is reckless and irresponsible. Businessman Jovenel Moïse is expected to be declared the official winner of Haiti's presidential elections after the country's electoral court ruled that there was no massive fraud as alleged by his challengers. The court had decided on December 20 last year, exactly a month after the elections, that a verification exercise would be carried out. This after the parties of three candidates challenged Moïse's victory. But the electoral Court said Monday that after examining the results of that verification, it did not detect any massive fraud. It said even though there were irregularities in the tabulation of votes, that would not have affected the overall electoral process. The Provisional Electoral Council was due to announce the official results on Tuesday. Moise will be sworn in on February 7 if he is formally declared the winner, as it's expected. Jamaica has recorded 10 murders in just the first 3 days of 2017, and police say they will maintain a presence in certain areas. Head of the Jamaica Constabulary Force's Corporate Communications Unit, Superintendent Stephanie Lindsay, says the murders were not a result of organized crime. She says the isolated incidents include several shootings, 3 stabbings, and 1 chopping incident.
It is not a situation where it is organized like we were seeing among the criminal network in some of the parishes. So you have an incident where somebody was attacked and chopped and so on. I mean, nobody could prepare for that on the first day of the year. These are persons from the same community in the same space, so there's no coordination. You're not seeing anything jumping out yet. It's very early. At the moment, we're actually analyzing the data from last year, looking at some of the things that we need to focus on. So we will continue with the high level of deployment. We just continue to have our high visibility policing strategy, continue to be in places. We would have had a number of persons that were deployed for the festive season. So, of course, some of these persons will have to gradually be redeployed, but it's not going to be a sudden redeployment. So we will redeploy strategically and to maintain our presence in the areas that we know we need to cover.
At least 1,300 people were killed in Jamaica last year. And in his New Year message, Prime Minister Andrew Holness said that crime was severely affecting the socio-economic development of Jamaica and that a plan to secure the country would be outlined in the coming weeks. Meantime, National Security Minister Robert Montague has announced that the next police commissioner will be employed under a contract with specific performance targets. He says that person must come to the job with his or her own plan to tackle the country's crime problem. And Montague says the Police Service Commission has already been informed of the change. The new commissioner will replace Dr. Carl Williams, who will proceed on early retirement on Friday.
You must come to the table with your plans, your visions as to how we are going to tackle what faces Jamaica and this constabulary force. You're not just going to come and collect your pay and it's business as usual. The public of Jamaica holds the government of Jamaica accountable for the #1 priority of any government, the security of its citizens. And the public of Jamaica has invested in your training as police officers. The public is now feeling helpless, hopeless, and powerless. You stand between the public and the criminal elements, and therefore it cannot be business as usual. It is going to be business unusual.
We remain in Kingston, where a 64-year-old Moravian pastor is expected to appear in court next week after being charged with statutory rape. There are allegations that he had sex with a 15-year-old girl on December 28 last year. Police say the long-standing minister of the Moravian Church was found in a compromising position when a police patrol in the deep rural community of Austin in Marysville, southeast St. Elizabeth, came upon a parked car in a secluded area. Media reports last week quoted investigators as saying they were following further leads as a result of allegations that the pastor may have been involved in similar behavior previously. And still to come in Caribbean Newsline, unrest in Bermuda over the non-renewal of a pastor's work permit. Stay with us. There's more news after this break. Grow your business or promote your event through the services offered by the Caribbean Media Corporation and CaribVision. Our distribution provides a platform on cable, terrestrial television, and websites. We cover carnivals and events from across the region. We can bring your event live and alive to the world. For music makers, program producers, businesses, we can expand your reach to in excess of 2 million households daily. Our other services include news updates to enhance your media products, studio space for program and development. We can facilitate the launch of new products and services and training. Contact us and we will help you unleash your creative ability, develop products and services, and provide the medium to watch them grow. Contact Loretta Skeet at cmccaribbean.com or call her 1-246-467-1044 or 1-246-253-3889. Call and book your carnival or event today.
Round Hay Pharmacy now has 2 locations to fill your prescriptions promptly and efficiently. Our branch at One Accord Plaza is open daily, including Sundays and bank holidays. Also, check out our new drive-through location at Warren's Healthcare Complex in Michael, the first and only drive-through pharmacy in Barbados. For more information, call Round Hay One Accord Plaza at 421-7863 and our new drive-through branch at Warren's in Michael at 424-5574.
Welcome back. A group of Bermudans is up in arms over government's decision not to renew the work permit of a pastor with the African Methodist Episcopal Church. The Bermuda Industrial Union and the People's Campaign staged a protest on Tuesday, which affected bus and ferry services as well as garbage collection. They say the government's decision not to renew Reverend Nicholas Tweed's work permit is political. But Home Affairs Minister Patricia Gordon-Pamlin says the application had been turned down because it was incomplete and contained inaccuracies. But she declined to provide details of those inaccuracies, saying she could not do so without the permission of Tweed or the church. Bermudans are divided over the issue, as some believe it is not a union matter. Up until news time, bus services have not yet been restored, and there was no indication whether it would resume tomorrow. Guyana's President David Granger confirmed Tuesday that he has carried out a minor reshuffling of his cabinet. He says he made the changes to address management problems at the Ministry of Public Health, improve interracial relations, and address problems of the rural poor. In the second reshuffle of his near 2-year-old administration, Granger removed Public Health Minister Dr. George Norton and replaced him with Minister of Social Protection Valda Lawrence. Amna Ali takes over at the Ministry of Social Protection, while Norton is the new Minister of Social Cohesion. Granger said it was necessary to make the adjustments to ensure the public service that is provided by the Cabinet is of a high standard. And he says he believes some of the controversy that surrounds Norton's service as Minister of Health took away from the work of the ministry. The Belize Central Bank is projecting a 3.5% expansion of the economy in 2017. Prime Minister Dean Barrow disclosed this news during his New Year's address to the nation. He said the expansion is expected to be driven by a dramatic growth in tourism and services and a robust recovery in farmed shrimp, corn and bananas. The Belizean leader also announced a 3% increase in salaries of public servants and some other government workers.
This is the final collective bargaining agreement remuneration installment, and, together with increments, will total an unprecedented 23% global raise over 4 years. Third, government expects to improve the state of public finances and public debt by amending the currently unaffordable terms of our inherited superbond.
Barrow also promised to present a fiscal package for 2017-2018 that cuts spending and boosts revenue.
Fat to be trimmed and there is money to be collected. But this will be done without weakening our pro-poor programs and without sacrificing investments in education, health and security. Accordingly, there will be no diminution in either food pantry or boost. And in fact, the 2017 start to Southside Poverty Alleviation Phase 3 will bring additional relief to targeted communities.
Meanwhile, Bahamas Prime Minister Perry Christie is optimistic about his country's economic growth for 2017. Christie says key factors like employment, investment opportunities and infrastructural upgrade will play a significant role in the growth of the economy. Clint Watson of ZNS Network News has the details.
I'm Feeling very good as we approach 2017.
The nation's leader, Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Perry Christie, is projecting a positive outlook for the Bahamas for 2017, with most of the success coming by the latter part of the year.
We anticipate that we will continue with challenges in 2017, but that the road will look clearer and clearer as we move deeper into 2017. People will see the progress that will be taking place, not just in Bahama, but other developments that we have approved and that will be all over the Bahamas, with impacts all over the Bahamas.
Standard & Poor's ironically also upgraded its projection for investment in the Bahamas from negative to stable. However, they believe 2018 will be the year things take off for the Bahamas and not 2017. And while the government understands this, Mr. Christie is of the view that growth will take place this year.
We have negotiated a tremendous deal with Bahama. We're not putting all of our eggs in one basket and talking about Bahama, but what in Bahama represents is that contrary to all the rules of bankruptcy, we were able to bring over $100 million back into the economy through paying employees and subcontractors and creditors of Bahama. We were able to protect Bahamians who have franchises in there to be able to stay and to continue with their franchise and not lose money with all the work they had done on those.
Additionally, the Prime Minister says they have a commitment from the new owners of Bahama to begin opening the resort by April, and that means new employment for scores of Bahamians early in 2017.
And this means they have to employ 1,800 people very quickly, and we expect therefore that January and February will have some 1,800 Bahamians now regain jobs or get new jobs at Bahama, and that is going to positively impact the employment chart.
This now means an aggressive marketing profile for the country, further attracting new business and increased visitors. There's also discussions about more seats for airlift to the Bahamas, coupled with expanded development on Family Island, spurring national visitor arrivals. The government is also engaged in an aggressive airport and road refurbishment program on the Family Islands, which will create new jobs.
Over in Brazil, rioting inmates decapitated and brutally assaulted their rivals, killing at least 60 when fighting erupted between two gangs at a prison in the Amazon region. Sergio Fortes, the security chief for Amazonas State, says the violence began late Sunday but was brought under control by around 7 a.m. on Monday. He told reporters several decapitated bodies were thrown over the wall of the prison, and he described the incident as the biggest massacre ever committed at a prison in the state. Pedro Florencio, the Amazonas State Prison Secretary, said the massacre was a revenge killing in a feud between criminal gangs in Brazil. Heavily armed police hunted for dozens of inmates who escaped through a series of tunnels discovered at the penitentiary complex. 16 tunnels were discovered, and in all, 87 inmates escaped. 40 have been recaptured so far. And ahead in Newsline Sport, 3 kicked from the Soca Warriors squad. Sport is next. Stay with us.
Welcome to my island. Welcome to my Caribbean island. Welcome to my island.
Maybe in my next life, I'll become a golfer.
Do you want a real Barbadian experience with peace and tranquility? A home away from home feeling? Come and stay at Best E Villas. We offer 2 amazing locations to choose from: Prospect St. James or Christchurch. Plan a staycation for your anniversary, birthdays, summer or winter breaks, or any special event. Best E Villas is located in close proximity to our lovely beaches. Call us now at 246-425-9751 or visit us at bestevillas.com and make your booking for the best in villas.
Welcome back. We begin sport with developments in Trinidad and Tobago. Soca Warriors head coach Tom Saintfiet has axed 3 players because of indiscipline. Daniel Cyrus, Jamal Williams and Joevin Jones have been kicked off a 20-man squad selected to contest the CFU Caribbean Cup playoffs starting in the Twin Island Republic on Wednesday. The newly appointed Belgian said Cyrus and Williams reported late to camp on Sunday with, and I quote, a decent smell of alcohol around them, end of quote, while Jones had simply not shown up. We get more from Vinod Nawani of TV6 Sport.
Many have been disappointed with Trinidad and Tobago's football of late, having lost 2 out of 2 matches in the final round of World Cup qualifiers so far, and with Tom Saintfiet replacing Stephen Hart as coach, there are more problems. Following the Nicaragua trip recently, where TNT lost and won a game each, coach Saintfiet has dropped some players from his squad for the next assignment, citing indiscipline as the reason. This as they prepare for the upcoming CFU Gold Cup playoff matches against Suriname and Haiti.
We selected 20 players. I have to say that 3 of the 20 players didn't show up. 2 players came 1.5 hours too late in camp and had still a decent smell of alcohol around them. That was Daniel Cyrus and Jamal Williams. Both were immediately sent home back to party, but are replaced in the squad. And also Joevin Jones was invited. I spoke with him individually, and he didn't show up at all for the camp. So I think he has no interest to help his country to qualify.
While he isn't saying it's the end for those who have been dropped, Saintfiet wants players who are focused and patriotic as well.
Talk about defending your country, hearing the national anthem, being the honor to be selected of 20 players of a whole country of 1.3 million to play your country. And I'm proud to defend Trinidad and Tobago, and I expect the same from my players.
Even though Saintfiet is pleased with the squad that has been selected, he is not taking his opponents for granted.
We have a decent squad, a balanced team, both in midfield, defense, attacking force. I hope if we can play the same way the second game we played against Nicaragua, we must be able to beat Suriname and Haiti. But again, we may not underestimate both opponents.
Meantime, Daniel Cyrus has pushed back against claims from Saintfiet that he turned up to national camp smelling of alcohol. The 26-year-old Soca Warriors defender argued that Saintfiet had been wrong in his assessment because he had not consumed alcohol. Cyrus also explained that he had been late in arriving at the camp because of a flat tire. The W Connection player said he had attempted to explain that to Saintfiet, but his efforts had proved futile after Jamal Williams had admitted that he had a drink with his family, and that seemed to set the coach off. Cyrus insisted that he does not drink, and it was wrong for Saintfiet to say he was among players who smelled of alcohol. Former West Indies batsman Dwayne Smith will retire from domestic one-day cricket for Barbados Pride ahead of this month's regional Super 50. The 33-year-old says though he was not hurt that he wasn't able to finish his career at home in this year's 50 overs tournament, he had little choice but to call it quits. Smith says he spoke to selectors, but they had different plans and he didn't fit into them. The Barbadian has garnered 3,500 runs from 183 List A games at an average of 23, but had a disappointing outing in last year's Super 50 when he managed just 116 runs from 8 innings at an average of 14. Pride reached the final before losing out to eventual champions Trinidad Red Force. Carlos Brathwaite is on top of the T20 world again. He has won the award for the ICC T20 International Performance of the Year. The ICC awards were announced last Thursday, with Brathwaite getting the early Christmas present for his performance in the 2016 ICC World T20 final. The Barbadian had a knock of 34 not out, hitting 4 consecutive sixes in the final over to help the West Indies beat England and take home the World T20 trophy. In his acceptance speech posted on Twitter, Brathwaite said he had always dreamt of hitting the final ball of a game for 6 to win it, but never had he thought he could hit 4 consecutive sixes to win the World Cup final for the West Indies. The ICC also announced its 2016 ODI Team of the Year, and TNT and West Indies player Sunil Narayan is part of that team. We'll bring more of that for you in our next broadcast. There was little joy for West Indies star Stephanie Taylor or her Sydney Thunder side as they slumped to their second loss in 3 outings in the Women's Big Bash on Tuesday. Playing at Blacktown International Sports Park, Thunder were restricted to a meager 115 for 8 of their 20 overs, and Brisbane Heat, without Taylor's injured Windies teammate Deandra Dotton, cruised to their target with 7 balls remaining to pull off a comfortable 9-wicket victory. Despite the loss, the reigning champions remained second in the standings on 9 points, just 1 point adrift of leaders and city rivals Sydney Sixers. Heat, meanwhile, moved into 5th spot on 8 points in a tightly bunched top 6 separated by a mere 2 points. Upton to bat first, Thunder struggled from the onset, and only captain Alex Blackwell, with 43 from 49 balls, displayed any real enterprise. Taylor struck 2 fours in 9 before becoming the first wicket to fall in the 3rd over. Blackwell helped put on 32 for the 4th wicket, with Nicola Carey, who made 16 to leave Thunder on 80 for 3 in the 15th over. But 5 wickets tumbled for 31 runs at the end as their challenge fizzled. In reply, opener Beth Mooney struck an unbeaten 75 from 60 deliveries to energize the Heat's run chase. She put on 63 for the first wicket, with Kirby Short 13 and a further 54 in the unbroken second wicket partnership with Jess Johansson, who was 20 not out. We now take a look at how Brisbane Heat won the game.
It's 1s and 2s. This time gets it down to third man. The third man fielder's got a lot of work to do, but won't get there in time. 4 runs. Swings and just gets it, I think, between the hands, more so than over the hands of the fielder there, and that goes for 4 runs. Left arm round the wicket. Mooney hits that hard and high out towards square leg. Osborne won't get to that one in time. That one does roll away for 4 runs. Come over the wicket to the left-handed Mooney. Cuts that one down through third man again. No one down there, so that'll roll for 4. Ball comes in again, bowling. Short just... this will be an easy run out this time. Left-handed Mooney. Mooney takes a couple of steps down, plays that one past the fielders, beats them both. Cover's trying to come around in vain attempt to stop it, but that one goes for 4 runs. That'll be, that single will bring up the 50 for Beth Mooney. 50 coming up off 44 deliveries. 50 off 44 deliveries for Beth Mooney. Another nice little innings by the Brisbane Heat wicketkeeper. Mooney sweeps that one around. That might go for 4. Fielder doesn't quite get there. For Jonathan. It goes 4, drives long and hard, and that's 4 runs. Jonathan jumps down the wicket, drives hard, firm, and that will be it. 4 runs will take Jonathan up to 20. Mooney remains 75 not out, and victory comes today to the Brisbane Heat by 9 wickets.
And that's the sport. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Grow your business or promote your event through the services offered by the Caribbean Media Corporation and Carib Vision. Our distribution provides a platform on cable, terrestrial television, and websites. We cover carnivals and events from across the region. We can bring your event live and alive to the world. For music makers, program producers, businesses, we can expand your reach to in excess of 2 million households daily. Our other services include news updates to enhance your media products, studio space for program and development. We can facilitate the launch of new products and services and training. Contact us and we will help you unleash your creative ability, develop products and services, and provide the medium to watch them grow. Contact Loretta Skeet at cmccaribbean.com or call her 1-246-467-1044 or 1-246-253-3889. Call and book your carnival or event today.
Again, the major developments of this day: the Oilfields Workers Trades Union puts state-owned Petrotrin as well as the public in Trinidad and Tobago on strike notice. And in sports, Soca Warriors head coach Tom Safety axes 3 players because of indiscipline, and he claims 2 of them showed up smelling of alcohol, but 1 denies it. That's Caribbean Newsline. For news and sport around the clock, log on to CarnaNews.com. We'll be back here again tomorrow. Have yourselves a good evening.